What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with that quick analysis. We're gonna talk about the award predictions. Today we're going to talk about the Sixth Man of the Year award. This is an award given to the guy that produces the best off the bench, primarily has to play most minutes and come off the bench for the most of the season and put up the best offensive numbers. Usually, defensive players usually never win this award. It's mainly one-sided to offense only. Whoever averages the most points usually is the player that wins this award. Alex Caruso is a guy that can score and he defends. He's a two-way player. He can get this interceptions. He can get 2-point, 3-point transition buckets. This is a high impact role player that really thrives in the Chicago offense that allows him to play his game. He was a part of that championship Lakers team that usually use him the same way. They just didn't play him as many minutes as they had LeBron James playing point guard that year. And they also had Rajon Rondo, who played a similar role of being a ball handler that intercepts like he did in Boston. Obviously, Caruso is younger. He had a chance to go get more money and get a bigger opportunity. And it has paid off for him getting more publicity and even has signs where people feel like the Lakers should regret letting go of Kuzma and Caruso. And they both have been doing better in bigger roles. Even though they haven't won like they did with the Lakers haven't been doing much winning. Other wise either, and they actually had better records, the Wizards and the Chicago Bulls and the Lakers to me. So in that regard, Caruso probably got better off, got more money, got a better role on a better team, and he gets to have a chance to possibly even start like he did sometimes last year. Um, Another guy, Karis Levert, is always in this conversation. This is a heat check guy. This guy gets buckets. He really knows how to score the basketball. Really is great at what he does. When it comes to that, he can handle the ball. He can hit a mid range. He can hit a push shot. He can hit a 3-point shot. Really can slice and dice the paint. Only problem is he's inconsistent shooting the ball. That's his Achilles heel. If his jump shot is falling, his floater is going, he's going to hit you for 25 to 30, which he has done already this season, putting him in the conversation for that. The biggest weakness for the team is their wing position. I know Karis LeVert is a defensive liability too, but he is a skill set player. He can get hot and he can carry that bench, and he can also be a solid playmaker too. So watch out for the rebound and assist. He can get 3 to 4 to 5 of those per game, and while still getting you 15 to 20 points. This is a team that really needs his offense, especially because Darius Garland's been out, and he can really supply that. He did it in Brooklyn. He did it with the Cavaliers last year, being in this conversation last year, ultimately falling short, but he is going to be in a category for this again, and he's going to be within the top 5 for this award like he usually be. Seth Curry, I don't believe he's going to start. When you look at the fact that they have KD, they have Ben Simmons, they have Royce O'Neal, who's a better, longer, lankier, more better defender. They need something to give them a spark off the bench outside of Joe Harris and Patty Mills, and it's going to be Seth Curry. He's already been a 20-point scorer, borderline, one of the best 3-point shooters, a solid defender like Caruso. Caruso is obviously a better defender, but Seth Curry is solid at that too, and then you factor in he can get you 3 to 4 assists, he can get you 3 to 4 rebounds or more. Really competitive, really likes to get in you, really likes to get at you, and really can heat up. This guy can go for 25 to 30 if it's needed. He's probably better than Karras, probably better than Caruso as all around efficiency and player, but he just hasn't had the opportunities to do it because of injuries this season, as he has missed every single game for the Brooklyn Nets. He's a big part of why they've been losing too. There's a little bit more offense can help them win games. Another ball handler, another scorer gives them something better than what they had with Joe Harris, just because he can do more offensively. And I think the bench is perfect for him because of that, because he can have his own chance to really impact the game like he did in Portland and Dallas, where he can really be the guy that really makes the plays and the primary decisions, while Kyrie and Kevin Durant is on the bench. And while Kevin Durant and Kyrie's on the court, he can be that shooting guard that can really add a little bit more. And you can even push Ben Simmons to center, Kevin Durant to power forward, and you can push Royce O'Neal to small forward like he played in Utah before, and then let Seth Curry be a shooting guard and let Kyrie be your point guard, and that can be your closing lineup. It was something that they really couldn't do because they didn't have Ben Simmons last year because he missed the entire season, and they made the trade for Royce O'Neal, something that they had to do. just because they didn't have a defender after they lost Bruce Brown, and the fact that Royce O'Neal can defend and shoot threes make him a little bit more valuable just because he's just that good. But I like what I see out of Seth Curry when he plays, and I like the fact that the Nets held on to him. Matt Strus has been amazing. Sometimes he starts, sometimes he come off the bench. I think he should continue to come off the bench just because you don't need multiple guys that do the same thing in the starting lineup, because you already have Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero, or you can just start both and just put Bam at the power forward or center position and play one with Butler. Either way, it'd be kind of the same thing because Strus has become just an offensive weapon, a guy that can hit the three, he can hit the mid range, he can handle the ball a little bit. He's just a solid player to me. Really like everything he brings to the table offensively, and he's just a solid defender. Not great, not elite, not amazing, but a guy that's not nothing to snuff at. And he'll come at you, he'll defend, he'll get in you, and he'll make you dribble, he'll make you think a little bit on your plays, and even force you into timely turnovers. I really love what I see out of Matt Strus. Emmanuel quickly. It was between him and Derrick Rose. Matter of fact, and list both. They're going to both average around the same amount of points because now they have Jalen Brunson. They don't need them to play as many minutes because they have a solidified guard that's going to be a primary scorer and primary decision maker, and is going to be in the most improved conversation too. And Jalen Brunson, I love what I've seen out of this team so far this season, but you have to give credit to Quickly for quickly figuring out how to play basketball. He can handle the ball, he can hit a three, he can get hot. That's the biggest problem with him. Coming off the bench, he can't get in rotation, he can't get in the formation in his head, how to consistently stay hot, and coming off the bench should kill your confidence too. As if you're down or you're ahead, it takes away your pride a little bit, and I think that hurts Quickly a little bit. But it makes sense why he doesn't start because he's not a great defender or a consistent offensive player, and you'd rather have Big Barrett in that paint and causing havoc. Same with Brunson. But I think Quickly and Derrick Rose can add both scoring touches off this bench. One can score, one can come in and really, give the spacing, and one can slice and dice and probe the defense and hit floaters and mid-range and threes. I think they have two guys that's going to be in the sixth man of the year conversation, and that just show you how good this Knicks team has been getting in depth. Something that they lacked and something that they have now. Jordan Poole is my winner. Klay Thompson will definitely not let him start this year. It would definitely be the Splash Brothers starting. The number 3, which he wears on his jersey, is the third Splash Brother. They all yellow. They all can shoot from 25 to 30 feet and splash it. They're NBA champions with all 3 of them on the same roster. So to me, since they ended up keeping Jordan Poole, I thought he would be traded. He instead will be on this roster. Jordan Poole, to me, would be the third Splash Bro again. And I think that if he can average 14 to 15, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, or something like that, that should be able to secure him as sixth man of the year. I definitely think he will win it. I think he has the best chance of winning it. I don't really see nobody putting up numbers offensively like him other than Jordan Clarkson or Seth Curry. Other than that, those guys are the only ones that can put out the production. But can they shoot as efficiently from 3? Can they stay healthy long enough? Can they put the rebounds and assist numbers with the 3-point efficiency? And the fact that he plays on a team that's going to be winning more than them will also factor into the discussion. Another person that I should be honestly mentioned is Colin Sexton. He was a starter for the Cavaliers. He averaged 20 points per game before in his career before he got injured. I think now that he's healthy and he took a lot of time off, he's already averaging 12 points as the season started. I definitely think that Colin Sexton will be in the conversation for sixth man of the year because he will be a double-digit scorer off that bench. He can hit the mid-range. He can hit a floater. He can hit a 3. He's very speedy. He's an offensive dynamo. I really love his game from day one. I always thought that he wouldn't be a superstar or a franchise-changing player, but he will be a hard worker and a guy that can really contribute and a guy that can really be a guy that can really come at you like a raging bull. They used to call him Young Bull. Back in the day, I remember seeing them in Summer League, seeing them get in their stances, seeing them really want to compete, seeing them really want to go at people. And that's something that you love to have on your team. It's infectious. It's something that's good and beautiful to have, in your head, in your body, and to see it on the court that he wants to win, he wants to compete, and he wants to come at you. And the fact that the Jazz are off to a good record and he's a part of that just allows you to see the impact that he can possibly make on this team. But I love what I've seen out of Colin Sexton. I love what I see out of Seth Curry, Matt Strus, Karis LeVert, Alex Caruso as two-way players, not just offensive players. I like the fact that that's changing with the sixth man of the year, that a lot of these guys are doing both, and that's a positive thing. But I have Jordan Poole, to me, MVP, being my prediction winner. He can get the points, he can get the assists, he can shoot and score just as good as everybody, and he can also get the rebounds, and he also be playing for a team that's going to win more games. Got off to a rocky start, but they got a lot of young players. It happens, and they just have to right the ship. Last year they got off to a great start and they, crumbled. This year they got off to a bad start and they get the chemistry and stuff down. You know how Steve Kerr is, you know how the Warriors are. They had a bad ending, but they ended up being champions in the end, beating my Celtics. So they have figured it out. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis signing out. I'll come to y'all next with the MVP award. That's one of y'all favorite awards. I'll come with that next.